Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video for you guys looking at a new product for the first generation NSX. It's from a new-ish company called Avant Road. They are, I believe, a SoCal-based company creating indoor car covers for enthusiast vehicles. So I'll get a little bit more into what the company, details about the company and what they do a little bit later, but essentially this video is going to be a unboxing of car cover that they sent me to check out. So I haven't opened it yet. We'll be opening up the box and looking at the product for the first time together. So let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this box open, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the company, since I know you all are just as eager to check out the car cover as I am. All right, so there's the logo. All right, it looks like they were super generous and sent me two car covers. So they did send me a black one and a blue one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the blue one. Here's a look at the box. Let's go ahead and unbox it for the first time. All right, comes with a nice bag, nylon bag, probably the same material that the cover is made out of, I'm guessing. All right, feels really nice and plush. Really hard to convey how something feels over camera, but here's a look at the material. Very stretchy. As you can see. All right, let's take a quick look at the materials. I was wrong in saying that this bag material is probably what they make the material of the car cover out of. It's not. This bag material is a little bit more of a durable, probably less soft, durable nylon material, whereas this one right here is super, super soft. So you can have a look at the black material versus the blue material. This is the outside of the blue material. This is the inside felty material. This is the outside of the black material. And then here's a look at the inside of the black material. But these are really, really nice. So thank you again to Avant Road for sending these out. Okay, there's a piece of paper over the logo to make sure it doesn't transfer. Get you a close-up of the logo in a second. So the logo, I know, goes in the front part, like on top of the hood. So I'll lay that way. Oh, interesting. Let me get you guys a close-up real quick. So I'll get you guys a close-up really quick. So here's the logo. And actually, what I didn't notice when I first pulled it out of the box is that the material on the inside is different than the material on the outside. So it does have a nice fleece lining on the inside. And then the outside is kind of a very soft, plush, I don't know what material this is. I'll have to follow up with them and put it on screen if I can get that information for you guys. But very, very soft on the outside and soft fleece type material on the inside. So it has pockets for the mirrors. So I'm going to go ahead and slot those in first. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the video. Just want to make a quick special announcement that I'm gonna be doing my very first channel giveaways coming up soon. So what that means is in the next week, look out for a special dedicated video from me outlining the giveaways, what I'm gonna be giving away, the time frame, and what it takes to enter to win. So I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. I thought, what better time than now? It's the holidays, and I wanted to always give back to you all for supporting me throughout this YouTube journey. I'm going to have anything from Honda memorabilia like die casts and clothing, to NSX parts, to possibly even a sponsored Avant Road car cover that for any application that they make. I will give you more details on that shortly in that dedicated video. A little bit more details is that it's going to be during the 5 to 6 weeks leading up to Christmas. I'll be announcing a new winner every Saturday morning for those 5 to 6 weeks. So look out for more details coming up soon. Excited for that, and back to your video. All right, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. So as I walk around the vehicle, let me tell you a little bit about the company, Avant Road, as you can see here. Avant Road Procovers is their name. They're started by a bunch of enthusiasts in the automotive industry. They have about 30 years of automotive experience, including 10 plus years in automotive textiles. They're starting out with enthusiast vehicles, so a bunch of golden era Hondas on their website already. I believe NSX, Integra, Prelude, some others, not just the late generations, but early generations as well. So go check out their website. They also have some Nissan and Datsun, and I do believe they plan to expand into 911s, BMWs shortly, as well as other future classics. So you can imagine that there's a lot to get through. One thing that is immediately apparent to me, since I do have some experience with a competitor brand that's not available anymore. So I did get my hands on a SOS car cover that's no longer available, I believe. And there's some big differences. So one of the big differences that Avant Road says that they have tested is that because they're enthusiasts and because they want to make these car covers for the enthusiast community, these car covers are not just tested on stock vehicles. These car covers are tested on vehicles with aftermarket parts. So they do advertise that they put extra material on the front end and the rear end. So my car, of course, has an aftermarket lip, as you can see here, that comes outwards. And of course, I have the Type R spoiler, which comes up. So, there's a decent amount, right? There's probably 3 or 4 inches or so of height on the top at the end. So they said that they did test common parts for different vehicles. So for the NSX in particular, they did test with a Type R spoiler, and I think they tested with a front lip. So there's a huge difference. I'll show you a picture, or not a picture, but I will put on the SOS car cover in a little bit, and I'll show you the difference. Basically, the SOS car cover, it can cover the front lip, but then the sides of the vehicle and everything, it comes up very, very short. Not very short, but it comes up short where you can see some of the body panels. This, in contrast, there is a ton of material. It goes all the way. I can probably, the tips of my fingers are touching the edge of the cover on this edge on the side. It's probably like 6 inches inwards of extra material in there. Of course, there's not a whole lot of room for the whole thing to shift because you have the mirror pockets, so that kind of keeps the middle in one place. But there's just extra material up front, and there's extra material out back. You can see that it's actually a little bit baggy here because it gives you a little bit extra room to pull it downwards as well. This is how I put my car covers in. I don't choose to put it over the tips because I don't want to blacken the inside of the car cover and dirty it with the dirty exhaust tips, but there's definitely more than enough room. I could stretch this all the way to the ground if I wanted to. So just because it's showing that, I just don't want to dirty the car cover. It totally has enough room to cover the entire rear end, as you can imagine from the top. So if I stretch this all the way down, you can see how much there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for a stretch. So the fitment is really great, really good. You can see the seam lines over the humps of the fixed headlights. and the car cover covers the entire front wheels. I'm on 17-inch fronts, 18-inch rears. But very, very impressed. Price point especially as well. I just took a quick look at their website, and their car covers seem to range from $150 to $220. This NSX cover being MSRP of $220 currently, which I saw looked to be their most expensive car cover. So if you're not into car cover pricing, that's actually very, very reasonable. There's a ton of car covers. Even if you search, I mentioned how the SOS is discontinued. There's some on eBay right now for like $500. Not SOS version, but like some other brands. Because it's kind of hard to find car covers for these cars, especially in a reasonably priced segment. So 150 to 220 is very, very reasonable. And it looks like it does the job really well. So give you some more closer look at the material. You know, I'm sure I can't speak to what the other companies do, the other companies in terms of like the ones that are well known for doing car covers, have been in the car cover industry for a really long time. They probably don't want to put extra material because that's just probably considered a waste to them. You know, of course, they're not going to want to account for different body kits and stuff on the vehicles. They want to just make a perfect fit for like the OEM body only. But this is all it takes, really, right? Like is probably, well, this goes far down in there. This, they give you a ton of extra material, and that just shows that it can go, this will probably easily go over a Spoon and NSX-R GT front bumper that extends to like out here. So I'll have to test that out on my buddy's car whenever he finishes his Spoon NSX-R GT build. And it will probably go over the RGT rear bumper too, which if you don't know, extends quite a bit too. So I would say the only thing it's not going to fit is a snorkel, right? So that's actually a good segue to my next point, which is if there are applications that maybe you think that they should make or want them to make or think there's a good market for them, hit up their website and let them know. There is a feedback message board on there that you can send them messages and send them comments to let them know that, hey, you have this vehicle, you think it would do really well for them to research and develop a new product for, and they will look into it. So yeah, I think this product is really, really great for the enthusiast community in particular, and actually everyone who needs a car cover, indoor car cover for their vehicle. Let Avant Road know that you guys have a application for them to develop for. So let me pull this car cover off really quick and put on the SOS cover, and I will show you where the SOS cover comes up short and where this cover does really well, just so you have a basis of comparison, because a lot of other car companies are probably going to have a cover very similar to SOS. All right, so here's a look at the SOS car cover. So at first glance, it looks fine, but once you come down, you can start to see some of its shortcomings, no pun intended. So you can see here that the side of the cover is almost maxed out. It's just barely covering the lip, and that's because I prioritized fitting the front over the rear. So I'll show you the rear in a second, but it fits over my front lip because I fit that first. After I did the mirrors first, of course, but I've put the cover over the front lip, and it doesn't fully cover the front lip or the wheels or the entire side of the vehicle, or the entire side skirt of the vehicle, I should say. And back here, how does it handle the Type R spoiler? Not super well. You can see that the lower valence is fully uncovered. It basically has no chance of, even if I wanted to, pull the cover all the way down over the exhaust tips. So like I mentioned how, for me, I don't personally like to cover the exhaust tips, but if I wanted to, I probably couldn't because there wouldn't be enough material. It's fully maxed out on the top. That's about as good as it gets, but then it's really tight, and then it pulls up on the sides anyway. There's nothing on the sides that's gonna, hook underneath and pull it down. So this, I imagine, is how a lot of car covers that are meant for just a stock body would behave. So I'm guessing every other car cover on the market, because, while I'm not like a cute car cover expert, Avant Road is the first one that I've heard that takes into account some aftermarket parts for a stock body, besides like a very, very specialized, like I think Route KS makes one, or used to make one, for vehicles with a snorkel. But for those of us that have other body kits, other lips and stuff like that, we don't want to buy one with a snorkel that's just going to be deflated when we don't have a snorkel. So for those of us that have just like aftermarket lips and stuff, I think the Avant Road car cover is going to be the one to get. So now let me show you guys how I go about unrolling a car cover and covering the car. Because I rolled it to the back, when you roll it up first, rolling it out, I just roll it forward like so, along the center line of the vehicle. And then I find the mirror pockets and install those first on both sides. And then typically from here, I will cover the part of the car that I care about the most, just to make sure that it has the most coverage. But being that this cover has enough material to cover everything, no matter what, it doesn't really matter what end you start out with. All right, so again, this has full coverage. It would probably fit over even the bulkiest side skirts, like some of you guys have. I would wager, I will try to confirm with Avant Road, even though I don't think they probably tested a wide body, but I would wager that this might even fit over a wide body, just based on how stretchy this material is. Like, you see this? And how much extra material there is. So that's good news for you wide body guys. But yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed by how stretchy the material is also, not just how nice it is, but how much it stretches. Because that's what really matters. So again, this part can be covered if you really want to cover it. I don't want to cover my exhaust tips and dirty up my cover. So let me show you guys now how I uncover a vehicle. So you can uncover one end, whatever end you want to start out with. What I do is I cover everything towards the middle of the vehicle. And actually, I try to uncover both mirrors, because if you uncover one side fully, it'll just end up wanting to kind of slingshot its side off to one side of the car. And you don't want this getting on the ground. So I basically fold everything towards the middle third of the vehicle. And I fold it over on itself. That way the material, the soft fleece material, is all you see. You do not see any of the outside material. There's a couple of reasons for that. One reason is if your car cover has some dirt or a little bit of debris on it for some reason, even though this is an indoor car cover, it contains that on the inside of when you fold it up like a burrito. So then from there, what I want to do is I want to not drag the car cover over the length of the vehicle. Some people will tend to like stand at the back and just roll it up and let it slide across the vehicle. I don't want to do that to minimize scratching, so I always roll it up from the front to the back. That way I can minimize scratching, and I usually put it in my trunk. Grab your cover and your bag, put it inside the bag. And you're ready to go. All right, so I'm really impressed with this car cover, guys, if you haven't noticed already. And that's not just because they sent me this car cover to test out and to get feedback on them, but it just really knocks it out of the park and kind of checks all the boxes, right? I was never really happy with the coverage of the SOS cover on all the aftermarket parts that I have. It did the job, yeah, but it always showed the side of my car and made it look like it didn't fit. So I highly recommend this car cover for you all. Most of you NSX guys keep your cars in garages, and so this indoor cover should do the job for you. So if you do park outside, post in the comments and let us know. Avant Road and I will be keeping an eye on the comments of this video to see whether some of you all want an outdoor car cover. So that is another area that they're thinking about getting into. So if there are, by chance, I think, I'm guessing that there's probably very few of you that park it outside, but if there are, let us know. Because that's possibly something that they will look into producing. So they also offer other colors. There is a black version, a blue version like you saw here, and a red version. I'm sure they'll be willing to look into other colors if the market is there. So let them know as well. And then yeah, just give feedback on what you think about this car cover in the comments, or on in the comments of this video, or on their or my Instagram channel, or on their website. I'll put their website on the screen right now. But thank you again to Avant Road for sponsoring this video, and I look forward to using this car cover and recommending it to many other people. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.